I'm going to be making this part right here using Autodesk Inventor. This is a 4.2 exercise, and the first thing I'm going to do is go to make a new part file. I'm going to start with a 2D sketch, and I'm going to choose the XY plane. I'll right click to get my rectangle tool. I'm going to start with this middle yellow dot and make a rectangle that's going to be 4 inches by 1.5, or sorry, 2.5. And just quickly where I got those numbers from, if I look back at this, 1.5 plus 1 is 2.5. If I look here, it's 4. Okay, now I'm going to make a rectangle in this corner, this one, and down below here. If I right click and select trim, I can get rid of a couple of these lines that I'm not going to use. I can get rid of some of the lines here, which it may not like, actually. I'm going to temporarily delete this. And this too, actually. Go back to trim. Okay, if you just click and drag with the trim, you can make a line that's going to get rid of anything that it touches. Then we can go back to dimension. It's here, or you can hit D on your keyboard. We'll put that dimension back in for 4. We'll put this one back in for the 2.5. I'm going to make this one 1.5. And this is a 1/2 inch. Here's another 1/2 inch. And another one. And notice that this is not the same height as this. I can use my horizontal constraint, click on my corner and my other corner, and those two will line up. I can do the same thing with this and this to make sure those two corners line up. And now if I go to drag this, it won't let me because this is defined as 1.5 inches. The top part here, it says it's 2. And from this side to this side, it says is 1. Alright, it still has some green lines, which means that it thinks that there's something that's not constrained. But if I go to try and pull on it, everything does seem to be locked in place. So it's confused with the way that I made it with the extra rectangles, but overall it's good. We're going to finish our sketch. I go to extrude, and I'm going to make this 2.5 inches as well. And that's from this dimension here. Now I'm going to right click and make a new sketch. We're going to right click again, choose a 2-point rectangle. I'm going to dimension this to be 1.5 wide. From this line to here is 0.75. From this line over is going to be a 1/2 inch. And the whole thickness of this is 0.25. I'm going to finish my sketch. If you tap E on your keyboard, that also means extrude. And click on this part, and it's 0.75. Hit enter, and this part is done. Save your work. We're going to call this 4.2.1. And we're going to choose a folder for it. If you go to your name, scroll down to where it says Inventor, right click and make a new folder. And we're going to call this 4.2. Oh, too many. Well, that's the file name. Oh, it stopped at 4. Let's rename that. 4.2. We're going to call this 4.2.1.